Gaffer, thanks for joining us. It's never nice to be on the end of a scoreline such as that, but when it's against the best team in the world, probably it's a little bit more understandable.
Yeah, you never want to obviously lose to a scoreline like that, but when you look at the level of quality that we come up against today, and as I said, I've got no problems but to give the boys praise in terms of how they went about it and how hard they tried. But they were up against some real good quality opposition today that moved the ball slick and clean, real quick, and they move it at angles that the boys would probably not have experienced thus far in the championship, but have experienced that today. And as I said to them, looking back at the performance and that, they competed all the way to the end, and it's no disgrace to them to lose against what arguably you'd say probably the best team in the world.
There was no fear in their performance. There was nobody starstruck over the people they were being lined up against, and I think that was an encouraging way, especially the way we started the game was really aggressive, really proactive.
Yeah, no, I agreed. We spoke in there in terms of coming here and respecting the opponents, but not to be in fear of them. And I think you saw that, Raj, today from the team in terms of areas of the pitch when it was on to engage them. Higher up the pitch it was. But we knew that once they did penetrate into our final third, we had to be really good defensively in and around our box because that's where they come into their own. And I thought the boys did that today. And as I said, it's something for us today that, we look back at the game and, from a learning perspective, that would be very, very good for us going forward. But for us now, the focus is on next week and certainly the second half of the season.
When we did get the opportunity to move the ball and use it going forward, there was no hesitation in doing that. There were actually a few chances one-on-one, even with the goalkeeper, that they did really well to stop us for. Those are the type of opportunities that we've got to build on and continue making when we get back to league play next week.
Yeah, and what I was in terms of the breakouts that we did, if I probably had one small critique, we probably could have used it a bit better. But again, I'm picking and clutching at things here. Then, in terms of that, we'll get better with that. We'll see that. But I was just really pleased with the way the two new signings did today in terms of what they can give us and what they'll be about for the second half of the season. And obviously, I thought for Brody coming back in and coming into that type of game and tempo, I thought that was an encouragement for us as well. And you can see with all three players the different dynamics that they'll give the team and for us going forward for the second half.
Like you said, there was encouragement from those three players, exactly those who I was going to ask you about. So you stole on my thunder a little bit there, Gaffer. Brody being recalled, was that due to his good performances and how he's been progressing in Scotland?
Agreed. Yeah, he's been consistent up there. As I said, it's been a win-win situation for both player and us as a football club in terms of him playing consistent football up in Scotland. So he's come back down here and he's ready to deal with the demands of the game, which has been great. And now he's got to just settle back into here now. It's great to have him back. Feels like a new signing for me personally because I've not had a chance to work with him. And on that showing, I'm very, very encouraged by what I saw.
We did have the two new signings play today, Alex from the start and Bojan from the bench. We start with Alex. He's still a teenager, but he doesn't look that way when he plays. There was, the aggressiveness that he plays with, the way he chases people down. I think a lot of supporters were really encouraged by what they saw today.
And his enthusiasm, and I think he's such a lovely, likable character. But the character that he displays in his performance. And I think today he was getting all about round the pitch today, and we was all encouraged by him. And as I said, he's one so young, but he'll bring the team a lot of qualities in and out of possession of the ball in terms of what he's about, patrolling that midfield engine room, really. So I'm pleased with Alex. And as he said, with Bojan coming off the bench, I think we've seen what he's going to bring us as an out-and-out number 9. And I think the supporters, I could see with some of the touches and that and how we control the ball and that allowed us to link it from back to front of the pitch. I could feel some round of applause going up there because they can see what we've missed at the first start of the season and what he's going to bring us. So, I'm encouraged by that.
An experience and an occasion like this is obviously important and one to sort of enjoy and look forward to, especially for supporters. But the more important game perhaps is next week at home against Plymouth Argyle. this gives us a little bit of belief of who we can compete with and how we can build on this going into that league game.
Agreed, Raj. Yeah, for me today, it's about, we played it against an excellent team today on their own patch. It's about learning what have we learned from today and what have we learned from today, what we can take into next week's game and for the second half of the season. Certainly for me as a manager, there's been lots learned. There's been lots learned with my players today in terms of them today as individuals performing in this arena and dusting ourselves down. We get a week to work and we prepare for the game next week. I love playing at the John Smiths, and so to be at home in front of our own fans, I'm really looking forward to the game. Speaking
of the supporters, there were 6,000 of them here today, and at moments it felt like a home game with the noise they were making. They should be really proud of themselves, and we're obviously really thankful for their support joining us here in Manchester.
Yes, and I appreciate the support that they gave the team. And they were well heard today and encourage the team. And I keep saying when they're in full voice, it does encourage the team, push the team. And so thank you to them all collectively for coming over today and appreciate the support that they gave the team.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time, Gaffer.
Cheers.